And having replacement workers is raising tensions in the community, and I don't think it's something that we want to have happen, is have these replacement workers here under the guise that it's potentially to replace people who are working in other mines.
In 25 years, I really have not had a lot of questions about it. Even in the days when we just said, you know, we don't talk about it, that's not the reason the house is open.
In an abandoned house on Rice Lake Road, members of several Northland law enforcement agencies wrap up 4 days of training by reconstructing crime scenes.
Be able to say, well, what were these injuries probably from? Are there more than one person? What happened first? The sequence of events is just amazing.
They're able to do all that by looking at where blood lands. Has it been smeared? And then marking their findings. It's a process called blood stain interpretation, and it's not just used at murder scenes.
Whether it be a burglary where a perpetrator cuts his or her hand or has any kind of wound where blood is exuded from the body.
And while this training is more about learning how to determine what happened in a room than it is actual DNA analysis, instructors say that can still be useful in investigating these sorts of crime scenes.
You have to utilize all of the different facets of forensic science that may be applicable, such as DNA, firearms examination, ballistics determination, and medical examiner reports, autopsy reports.
That's why it's important that blood samples be collected while disturbing the scene as little as possible, so they can be analyzed by scientists, often at the State Crime Lab of the Bureau for Criminal Apprehension.
Can take several weeks and several months, depending on how extensive the bloodshed was.
But no matter how long the process, local law enforcement hopes blood interpretation will play a major role in putting criminals behind bars. Edward Moody, News 6.
He doesn't want them in the White House, as the 9/11 Commission suggested, but President Bush is urging Congress to create a National Counterterrorism Center and a cabinet-level National Intelligence Director.
Under this reorganization, the CIA will be managed by a separate director. The National Intelligence Director will assume the broader responsibility of leading the intelligence community across our government.
The president's announcement comes amid a heightened code orange alert for Washington, New York, and Newark, New Jersey. New intelligence indicates al-Qaeda has been casing 5 financial centers, including the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the New York Stock Exchange, plotting to blow them up with car or truck bombs.
Everyone that has reviewed the sources has concluded that it is as reliable a group of sources that we've ever seen before.
Security has been beefed up at all the targeted sites. At the IMF this morning, it's business as usual.
By coming to work as normal, we can tell the people who made these threats to shove it the big time.
Top New York officials open the New York Stock Exchange and financial markets are operating normally.
There may be a few butterflies in some stomachs, but you still go forward. You still move forward and do what you have to do.
But on the streets of New York, nerves are on edge.
Anybody with backpacks and, even a bag like this could, blow up themselves down here. So what can you do?
This is the first time that the government has designated a higher terror alert for specific areas. The rest of the nation today remains under a yellow or elevated alert. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
You know, it was kind of like somebody put a knife to my back, stuck in a hose, and sucked the life out of me.
Carlton Cloquet Area Chamber of Commerce President Jim Rusick says finding out the organization's treasurer was stealing thousands of dollars behind their back really hurt.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt, and but we'll get through it. And like I say, we'll become smarter and we'll become stronger, and we'll be the chamber that we have been.
Kathleen Doherty was only with the chamber for 1 year, and in that 1 year, Carlton Mayor Denny Randlin says she created such a gap in resources they won't be able to continue their normal sponsorships.
Some of the programs that we supported strongly, a lot of kids programs and the hospital and the Four Seasons Complex and National Honor Society and things like that, you know, might have to take a hit from us until we can get back in shape.
But Jim Rusick says the chamber isn't giving up hope.
I think everybody's just going to pull together and we'll be strong. And we'll come back. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're not quitters.
Years ago when the folk festival started, it was a garden party up in the Woodland Avenue area at a private home.
Was a visual to reinforce.
What did you say? Now here we have an Explorer.
And what you miss with that is that there's only a here in Minnesota to improve our situation.
This perception needs to be worked on, and it needs to be changed. So, I mean, this.
By its very nature, playing the lottery involves a leap of faith. Those who lay their money down somehow believing they'll be the one to defy overwhelming odds and win millions. It's a hopeful optimism that scam artists feed on.
They've been getting very creative.
The Minnesota Lottery handles a steady stream of phone calls from consumers who have received bogus emails telling them they've won prizes with a catch.
They purport that you have won something, and then there's a whole variety of things that they will then suggest that they need to hire a bodyguard to bring them money, and you need to fund the bodyguard, or you need to pay the taxes up front.
The problem has become so widespread, the Multi-State Lottery Association has posted a fraud alert on its website. It's an example of a growing wave of techno-fraud referred to as phishing.
It went from people getting things in the mail to people getting things faxed, and now everybody's getting email scams.
Cyber crooks are fearless, stealing logos and pirating links from huge corporations like U.S. Bank. The company's webpage warns customers with with actual examples of bogus e-documents that have been used to swipe account numbers and personal information.
And you have to keep on constant alert, because they're always coming up with nuances that may make you think that it's real.
The bottom line, responding to a bogus email can cost you your privacy and more. The fallout can shatter dreams and leave the unsuspecting twisting in the wind.
It's just bad all around. I mean, it's illegal no matter how you cut it.
And those members.
Porter Goss of Florida, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, is President Bush's choice to head the Central Intelligence Agency at a time when it's fighting a two-front war against terrorists overseas and against critics here at home.
He's the right man to lead this important agency at this critical moment in our nation's history.
Goss would replace George Tenet, who resigned under fire in July. But first, Goss has to face what might well be a bruising election year confirmation in the Senate. For Goss, this appointment is a homecoming. He worked for 9 years as an intelligence officer with the agency beginning in 1962.
I'm very proud to be associated with them again, and I look forward to the challenges of the future.
It's a challenge few know better. He heads one of the committees examining the intelligence failures of 9/11 and fixes for the future. Goss has been at the center of the debate over retooling the CIA and America's intelligence machine. He's been critical, but also has cautioned against moving too quickly.
I think every American knows the importance of the best possible intelligence we can get to our decision makers. It is vital, as the President has well said.
Reaction here on Capitol Hill has been split along party lines. Democrats are promising a tough confirmation fight. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
I think the public should definitely get a chance to vote. I think, they're the ones that are supporting all the businesses down here, so they should definitely get a say.
But if that's not the case, it will take 4 of the 7 council members to pass the ordinance, and it will mirror the ban in Moorhead. All the indoor workplaces would be smoke-free, and some think that could have a big impact on business.
This place, over half the customers are smokers, and if you tell them that they can't smoke here, they're going to go find somewhere else so they can smoke while they eat.
But not everyone in Virginia is echoing those same words. Some think a smoke-free city would be a great improvement.
I don't like going into restaurants where there's smoke. It seems like you always have to walk through the smoking area to get to the bathroom. That doesn't seem fair. So to me, I think it's a great idea.
A great idea that some council members think shouldn't be left in their hands.
I think the best option would be to let it go back to the state and have the state mandate it instead of trying to let 7 people do it for the city.
A good indication, you can look on the beach and see if there's a lot of trash attracting waterfowl, a lot of waterfowl dog droppings and so forth. Those are indications that there could be some bacteria in the water.
to ensure they have the tools.
Just a few months ago, President Bush signed an executive order creating the Great Lakes Interagency Task Force to better coordinate local, state, and federal efforts to clean up the Great Lakes.
The administrator is here to talk about a new executive order that was signed by the president asking or directing the federal agencies to do a better job of coordinating their activities to protect the lakes.
Fundamentally, it's going to take some jump start to get this investment started. There may be $300 to $400 billion in needs nationwide.
There are a number of concerns confronting Lake Superior's health, which the new task force hopes to combat.
There's an enormous amount already being done, and our purpose is to make certain that the resources that we're using are applied in the most efficient way possible. I will tell you that as I've traveled around the Great Lakes, that there are reoccurring themes. The worry about invasive species, the concern about combined sewers along the various banks of all of the Great Lakes, and the need to retool and to improve those are continuing themes I hear all of the time.
Of course, recently in Duluth and along the North Shore, beach closures due to high levels of E. coli are of concern.
Well, that's one of the reasons, of course, I've come to the water lab. This is the place where the answers are found.
There's a very active research program now taking a look at where the E. coli may be coming from. We know that some of it comes from overflows of sewer systems, but in other cases it may come from birds and animals that are near the coastline. It's much easier with a lake like Lake Superior to prevent the problem in the first place rather than trying to clean it up after the fact.
In Duluth, Sven Sungard, News 6.
Community, Kathleen and I are caregivers.
We come here to honor cancer survivors who have won their battle against cancer. We come here to show them support, community support, and we also come to remember people who have lost their battle with cancer, and of course to raise money for the American Cancer Society.
It was the first meeting since Superintendent Almanza announced he would not renew his contract, and it started with a warning to watch what was said.
We could not have a closed session. It had to be an open meeting. And when you have an open meeting where the public is invited, you cannot discuss private data.
No private data was talked about, but Superintendent Almanza did highlight issues he thinks are important to the district.
I think that the board was receptive and in agreement with the basic priorities that I've outlined for them.
Those basic priorities are the consolidation of all the schools, a continuous improvement plan for the district, and the 2005-2006 budget. He'd also like the board to discuss the teacher contract, which ends in 2005, and a search and replacement strategy for the new superintendent.
I think we agree that the long-range plan is very important. It's something that we have been meeting for the last 2 or 3 months.
Almanza placed special importance on finalizing the teacher contract by the time his term is over.
In doing that, I believe that we can make an easier transition in leadership, and we will be in a better place at the end of this school year.
It may seem early, but Almanza had a reason for announcing his intentions a year before his contract is up.
Last year in this state, there were over 55 superintendent turnovers. At this point in time, there are still a number of districts who are having to function with interim superintendents because
Something
they were
he
not
and the
able
board are hoping to avoid.
take
Rachel
that
Slavic, News
item
6.
and deal with it and put it into a time frame that best serves the district. The other
When patients eventually walk through the doors of the First Street building, they will find some of the best clinical and technical care available throughout our whole state.
First, there was the rally to support the workers, featuring lively speeches from some of Minnesota's top lawmakers.
Your workers are our friends and our families and our neighbors. They're good Minnesotans, strong Americans.
Negotiation talks soon followed. They were intense, made even more difficult by the fact that Cleveland Cliffs began shipping in and training temporary replacement workers, a move union leaders were sure would affect the way members voted on the contract.
The reason I didn't feel it was going to pass is because of what Cleveland Cliffs did is brought the trailers on the property, said that they were going to hire temporary replacement workers and stuff like that, and that got the membership pretty well riled up, and I thought maybe that would play a little role in their voting.
However, the agreement passed. It's a 4-year deal under which Cleveland Cliffs will have to put more than $220 million into its health and pension funds. The contract also provides wage increases, adding up to 9% over the length of the agreement.
I really think that we did a real good job getting a lot of this stuff shored up for our retirees, our past and future retirees. Well, I think the reason I didn't feel it was going to pass is because of what Cleveland.
It didn't sound much like the real Olympic theme, but it was good enough for a group of girls in eastern Duluth. They're huge Olympic fans and decided to hold their own neighborhood competition.
Like, just, I don't know, just getting to, like, kind of experience what they're doing in a way.
Some of the friends chose to be athletes and others became judges.
I don't know, I just like judging stuff.
The impromptu Olympics were a surprise to the mom of the house.
Well, the kids have been watching the Olympics all week and watching the gymnastics competition, and I went into work and came back and they were all dressed up in their gymnastics costumes and setting up their own Olympic competition here.
Their Olympics were awfully authentic. There were gold, silver, bronze, and iron medals, so all 4 athletes could win something. They also had a security detail consisting of an off-duty police lieutenant.
Her children are here too, so I called her in from work.
The homegrown Olympics allowed these girls to enjoy their last bit of summer vacation and to hone their sportspersonship.
They're all very involved in sports, so they're very involved and know about competition quite extensively, and this is kind of just an extension of that.
Like the real Olympics, this backyard competition will likely be back in 4 years.
Oh, probably. I don't know, maybe their younger sisters will next time. They got the younger ones judging now, so maybe next time they'll be the judges and the younger ones will be in competition.
In Duluth, Dave Anderson, News 6.
Caitlin Sorensen. Emily Johnson.
It's our favorite restaurant, our favorite pop, A&W root beer, and we come at least once a week.
It was during one of those weekly trips that Denise Johnson saw a posting for A&W's Create Your Moment, Win a Home contest, and she thought, why not?
It sounded like a fun contest, and the prize was, you know, enormous, and I was excited about it and thought, well, I'm really going to try this and hope our family wins.
Denise created her moment in the form of a poem, inspired by one of the Northland's natural wonders.
A&W, come and join us under the northern lights.
Her verses of fireflies and moonlight prompted a call from the folks at A&W. Denise made it to the top 10 and couldn't wait to tell her family.
When I told them what the prize was, they all started screaming and running around, and they were so excited.
And I'm like, Mom, are you serious? And she's like, yep.
If Denise wins, she and her family will receive a $200,000 home. Husband Scott says it would be a much-needed bright spot in a year that has included the death of Denise's father and sending one of their sons to the Middle East.
It's just a blessing that keep our minds off of him being in Iraq and the stress that my wife has gone through this year and our family has gone through.
And of course, it was Denise's poetic way with words that got her this far in the contest. But in order to take that next step to the grand prize, she's going to need your help.
We're just your average, you know, American family. Please vote.
You see, for Denise to win, she has to receive the most votes through A&W's website. So her family has kicked off a full-scale campaign, complete with flyers, T-shirts, and word of mouth.
I'll tell my teacher and my friends.
She won't know whether she's won until October, but plans are already being made for the house, including a welcome home for the family's brave soldier.
When he comes back, it'll be a great place to have him be able to come back to.
Denise says winning a contest like this would be a dream come true for her all-American family.
Parties, family get-togethers, graduations, just hanging out, enjoying ourselves, and making family memories.
Edward Moody, News 6.
We will.
Yeah. You aren't going to try to, like...
It's more than just a cheer to these women, it's a reminder of their common bond.
It's wonderful to be a part of this team. We're just survivors.
Survivors of one of life's biggest challenges for a woman, breast cancer.
It's emotional because, well, number one, when you get a diagnosis of cancer, it's probably the scariest thing that can ever happen to you.
Even though each of these ladies had the same sickness, each had a different experience when they first heard the news.
I was so confident that I didn't have it. I went to the doctor all by myself that day. I left my husband behind because it wasn't going to be anything.
The weird thing was that I knew it. When they sent me in for the biopsy, I knew that it would come back as malignant.
Looking back, it was family and friends who helped them deal with the rough times.
You don't get through without support. And that sense of support is a life lesson above and beyond getting through cancer.
Now they're using that lesson to help them in the Dragon Boat Race. As they pump themselves up, each survivor knows she'll take something away, win or lose.
Even though we are not all assured of survival, we are assured of the continuation of the support of the sistership part of our name. It's the survivor sistership.
And every year the team shows that sistership by honoring those who couldn't beat the cancer.
I think we offer the hope that cancer is not the end, that life goes on.
Life does go on, and it's given these survivors a different outlook.
It's like you just want to live in the moment, you just want to enjoy your life, and that's basically what you got to do. You just got to live in the moment and enjoy your life.
Which is exactly what they're doing. In Superior, Rachel Slavic, News 6.
I don't know anyone here at all. I just know myself.
That is why Kristen McDonald is a little nervous about moving in, but she's not the only one with the first day jitters.
There's a lot of confusion, people going to the wrong places, the wrong halls.
Kristen found her room without a problem, and she's getting over her nerves because she's got a big support group helping her move.
I'm excited for her to go. She tried a different school, but it didn't really work out, so hopefully this one will work a lot better for her.
And with school set to start in just 4 days, Kristen is ready for the new opportunity.
I'm not too nervous because I only have 2 classes on Thursdays. So I think it's a gym class and a criminal justice class, so it should go pretty smooth.
Just in case that transition isn't easy for students, officials at UWS are prepared with events.
We have orientation is held every year, and that actually starts tomorrow for all the incoming freshmen and transfer students. We have 3 days of orientation.
And McDonald will use that event to help her adjust in these first few weeks.
I'm hoping to meet lots more people compared to a community college.
Base price moved to $2, and then Linda was talking about that it moved. And you said Linda wouldn't be back until Wednesday. Okay, he's just gonna sure to us talking.
It's been several years since we dealt with cab rates, and since then, gasoline prices have gone up dramatically. And to try to help the cab industry in town to stay in business, they made a pretty good case to us that we should be raising rates here.
Back in the old days, before the Duluth Entertainment and Convention Complex, Denfeld's Auditorium was the place the community gathered for the arts. Its crowning jewel was the pipe organ.
This is a Kilgan organ. It was originally built in the early 1900s. It was originally installed in the Capitol Theater down in the Twin Cities.
In the 1920s, the organ came to Denfeld. There are years of memories in its 37 ranks and 6 divisions.
Oh, many, many fond memories. We've gotten letters from people that have said they remember their nickel concerts where they used to have the band, the choir, the orchestra, and the organ.
The years have taken a toll on the auditorium and the organ.
A lot of damage was done by water, and 2 of the divisions are totally unusable because of water damage.
The damage means that the organ needs a complete restoration. The crew at Pianos Plus on East 1st Street is helping with the work. They have set a high standard for this project.
Not good as new, but better than it was before.
The restorers have had to come up with clever ways to fix the decay of the decades-old instrument.
This is one that they did a veneer on it so that they could use the piece. There was dry rot on it that was so bad, so they veneered it.
All this work to repair a piece of history costs money. Those trying to restore the organ need to raise $250,000 to pay for the work. After 3 years, they're almost halfway to that goal.
We'll see what the future brings, but it all unfortunately depends on money, and a lot of people are looking for money. So we're just another hand in the pot.
At Denfeld, Dave Anderson, News 6.
or wilderness should be placed under the protection of the Wilderness Act of 1964. They're even more pleased that the Department of the Interior supports it.
This wilderness proposal reaffirms an important principle stated in the Wilderness Act. that wilderness is for the use and enjoyment of the American people.
The study was conducted by the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore Office. It involved thousands of interviews with citizens, most of whom, island officials say, hammered one important point home.
The number one message that we heard from people during the course of the wilderness study is, we love the way the park is right now, don't change a thing. Hiking, camping, they'd still be able to take their power boats out there, they'd be able to beach their boats on the beaches.
However, some groups say the 80% designation is not enough, also claiming its endorsement is merely a campaign move by President Bush to win a swing state. In Bayfield, Edward Moody, News 6.
We've camped up here, we've, come up here on vacations and stuff. It's a fun place. It's fine, I'm getting away from home.
Last semester I had a dorm experience with another roommate, and now I'm moving in with somebody that I know, and so I think it's going to be a lot more fun probably, but overall I think just being in the city is really, it's such a fun town. Like,
We're standing on the street.
Old though, real old.
Brandon's ever belongings. He has so much packed up already.
After seeing the girls up here during orientation, I'm going to college. I never got to go, I'm going. Where are they? It's nice, our son's going to school and work back.
Bush Cheney fans greeted Laura Bush at Bayfront Park Thursday, complete with a Texas-style welcome.
We've been through some very historic times together in the last 4 years. And these are also times of change that require new ideas to move America forward.
And the First Lady wasted no time getting right to the reason for her visit, promoting her husband's campaign.
I've watched as my husband has led our country with strength and conviction through some of the greatest struggles our generation has ever seen.
Her focus on the issue seemed to parallel George Bush's speech at last week's Republican National Convention, with topics including education, health care, and the war on terror.
As we grieve for the families in Russia, and as we approach the 3rd anniversary of September 11th, I believe what's most important is my husband's work to protect our country and to defeat terror around the world.
And one Northlander, Robert James, who's gotten lots of attention lately, had a chance to deliver a headlining speech.
I support George W. Bush for re-election.
James is the man who put up the large-scale signs outside his home on London Road in Duluth.
It was a humbling and honored to be up there, to be on the same stage as the First Lady. It was really an honor.
And some Northlanders we talked to after the event seemed to really enjoy what Mrs. Bush had to say.
She's so pretty and so articulate, and I just think she's great. I always did think she was, but it was fun, and the crowd was very exciting to be here.
I'm a former military man, so I really support the Bush campaign and everything like that.
Laura Bush was the 3rd presidential campaign figure to visit the Northland over the past 3 months, leaving everyone to watch swing states like Minnesota very closely as we approach Election Day. In Duluth, Adam Gassimi, News 6.
Well, we're having a very successful year this year, and in fact we just about doubled our sales at the same time last year at the end of August.
Hi. And I've always thought that the Cloquet Hospital has been extremely important to our community, and it's more important, and it's going to be more important than ever with this new $15 million expansion. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. The hospital has served its needs for health care in our area for over 50 years, and I will even serve it better.
The City Council struggled to deal with the situation, and essentially they slapped the mayor on the wrist once again.
Alan Ralph was one of the people packed into council chambers in Ashland last night. The standing room only crowd listened intently as councilors voted on 3 resolutions concerning the mayor's resignation.
Yes.
Anderson, absolutely.
Mayor Snook was calm and collected as the council passed a resolution of no confidence and another formally requesting his resignation. However, councilors voted 6-3 with 1 abstention against seeking legal action. Several said it would simply be too costly for taxpayers.
I expected my city councilor to simply vote with the removal process, which is far faster and more convenient for the citizens at large, even though it costs us more money to do that.
Here they've really taught me to go for what I'm interested in and really to chase my dreams and be who I am and not be afraid of it.
Jamie Otto is a student at Harbor City International School in Duluth. It's one of Minnesota's 88 charter schools. She says this sort of learning environment allows her to focus on the things that matter to her, like photography.
I've always been really interested in it since I was a little kid, and I'm hoping to go to college for photography in Columbus, Ohio.
Jamie is a senior, and while she seems to be doing fine here, a recent national study suggests many Minnesota charter school students aren't getting what they need academically.
And this report clearly indicates that charter schools aren't the be-all and end-all. They aren't the answer to everything.
Folks with Education Minnesota say low test scores in reading and math are cause for concern, and that perhaps Governor Pawlenty should think long and hard about his proposal to build dozens of new charter schools using a $15 million grant from the federal government.
We have to really take more time and be thoughtful about which ones we're going to approve and which ones perhaps don't meet our standards and shouldn't be approved.
However, local charter school supporters say things are looking up here, saying some of our Duluth students are actually beating state averages. Other supporters say charter schools aren't necessarily set up for traditional standardized tests.
That, frankly, often includes populations that might not necessarily do well on those standardized tests to begin with, no matter where they were taking or what institutional educational setting they were in.
In Duluth, Edward Moody, News 6.
That's why because I'm getting that.
Talk
regard to No Child Left.
Much of Wendell Anderson in doesn't make sense that we base
They want to hold schools accountable under this act, but we have to hold the administration accountable under this act. And by that standard, I give them a failing grade.
Thank you.
Hear this talk in regard to No Child Left Behind legislation and other educational issues. Representative Overstreet.
At the break of dawn, when most of the Northland is fast asleep, thousands of athletes are lacing up their inline skates and preparing for today's race. As the skaters begin their 26-mile trek, support for two competitors is just a few miles down the way. Helen Robinson and her family are waiting to see son Dwayne and grandson Dylan roll on by.
Oh, it's fun just to be out and see everybody and cheer them on and the smiles on the people's faces.
Those smiles were a little bit bigger today because the racers had some help from Mother Nature.
I think we had a little tailwind, so we cheated a little bit today.
For Dylan, that extra push was enough to keep him going when his legs got tired.
I didn't train at all, though. My training was hockey this summer. That's all.
The men were able to make it on to the end where family and cowbell were waiting to see the big finish. Dwayne says seeing his support group at the end gave him the extra energy to finish the race.
Close for a split second, but it's pretty emotional. You know, you're just drained by that time, so you actually get pretty teary-eyed even coming to the finish line.
And as Dylan skates through the home stretch, the family is quick to congratulate him.
They did very well today. Yeah, they did very well. Lots of fun.
And the whole family hopes they do just as well next year. In Duluth, Rachel Slavic, News 6.
We'd love anything and whatever anybody can do. And when someone says, you know, $1 isn't very much, when you look at the food shelf, we can purchase food for 9 cents a pound.
Yeah, very good response. You know, everybody loves root beer floats, and then we had a lot of people go upstairs and use our computers and go ahead vote for us. So.
Needless to say, this ice cream is.
Four more wars. Wheels of grappling. I'm for war.
For the first time in 32 years, we're going to win Minnesota for a Republican candidate for president. So that's really exciting to see all the enthusiasm in the community for Bush.
Bush Cheney volunteer Christina Wilson is excited about the vice president's visit and says things around the local headquarters on Superior Street have been hopping.
We're very excited to have the vice president and Lynn Cheney come visit us after just having the president and the first lady come as well. They're showing a lot of interest in Minnesota, and that's very exciting for us here in the Northland.
But DFLers say the vice president's visit to the Northland won't have much impact.
We welcome the vice president to the North. I hope that for the last 3.5 months of the Bush presidency, he shows the same interest in our part of the country as he has the last couple of months.
Citing visits like Cheney's motivate John Kerry supporters to get involved with the local campaigns.
I think what it's doing is motivating local DFLers. We just last weekend had to open up another office on Superior Street because so many people are coming and wanting to help, wanting to participate in the effort. So I think it is motivating DFLers in northeastern Minnesota.
I think a lot of points he made today were really good to benefit a lot of us. There's a lot of questions out there that need to be answered, and I feel today he answered some questions from the audience, and he did a really good job.
Northlanders gathered at Cirrus Design Wednesday to hear what the vice president had to say, touching on a wide array of issues like national security, the war on terror, and health care.
Well, just because I'm a senior citizen, I think sometimes seniors are asking for maybe some of the impossible things. However, I was proud to be there to listen that Cheney did put it out straight. We are not going to lose our Social Security.
Is there one topic in general that you're really hoping he would hit on?
Yeah, the war in Iraq and the war on terror. I thought that those are two issues that he really covered very well and that include everyone in America.
And outside, protesters lined the street as Bush Cheney supporters listened to the vice president inside.
As a soldier myself, as a veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom, as a future veteran, we've just been activated as a future veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. I am against this war. I'm in favor of the military. I support our troops, but I want people to know that there are several troops that are not for this president and not in favor of this war.
The Cheney visit sparked some Northlanders to show their support for the Kerry Edwards campaign.
I would like the world to know that not everybody approves of the Bush-Cheney administration, that there are many, many people who disagree with the policies and with many things that they are doing. And how are they going to know that unless we make our voices heard? We couldn't get in to the rally because we wouldn't be allowed to go in there to ask questions, and this is the only way that we have to have our voices heard.
In Duluth, Adam Gassimi, News 6.
Do your best.
Ann Lashinsky lost her oldest child to an inline skating accident on Duluth Lake Walk in the summer of 1999. The death of Jessica Lashinsky left an aching hole in her family, but out of the depths of despair, good things have emerged.
We donated Jessica's organs, and there are 6 people living and healthy now, nearly 5 years later.
Ann Lashinsky is a teacher and a writer. She has combined those skills to celebrate her daughter's life rather than mourn her death.
Jessica was an awesome student and she liked to write.
Anne, working with Jessica's sister Jamie, wrote and illustrated a book in tribute to Jessica called Let Your Light Shine. But the story is more than a tribute, it's an inspiration.
It's a book that I think that all parents and educators should read to their children. It's about values. It's about my daughter Jessica, and she was about values, and she was about hard work and doing your best and doing things for other people.
Anne often takes the book to classrooms to talk with students about living and giving and letting their own light shine.
There are millions of kids around the world whose lives are in the dark.
Anne Lashinsky's book is poignant for another reason. Like her mother, Jessica wanted to be an author and was pursuing that dream in the summer of 1999. She was interning here at Lake Superior magazine. Her editor, Connie LeMay, was very impressed with the young intern.
In the book, Anne kind of outlines all of the things Jessica did accomplish within just her short 21 years. And it's quite amazing. I mean, she did some aid work in Africa. She was a pilot and had 2 internships already.
Let Your Light Shine tells the story of how Jessica used her talents to improve the lives of others.
You can let your light shine by doing your best at everything, working your hardest, being kind, and sharing.
Anne Lashinsky speaks to students to keep her daughter's light shining and to provide inspiration to other children to let their own lights shine.
I think that you can do anything you want to with your life if you try really hard.
Anne also talks about her daughter's legacy of life, of the lives saved through the donation of Jess's organs. She says it means that even in death, Jessica's light shines on.
There's a saying, with your life you can choose to shed light or cast a shadow. Choose to shed light.
In